Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and of course I'm joined with John Sneisen, our economic analyst here at WAM, and of course the complicated issue of bail-ins is coming up again and again, just like we've warned you several times since January, as it just keeps elapsing and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And John, you wanted to talk about how they are now implementing bail-ins in Austria. Can you go into that?
Yeah, well, first of all, we talked a lot about the Canadian bail-ins, the probability of it. Well, in the 1st of January, I think it was right at 1st of January 2016, in the Eurozone, they implemented the same kind of bail-in regime that we put in the Canadian legislation. Now, this is one of the first banks to be under this legislation, and the bank used to be called Hypo Alpe Adria. And they were situated in the Carinthia region, the canton in Austria. So what happened was the bank went bankrupt. It was done. It went bankrupt on about 20 billion euros. Now, out of that, there was a whole bunch of what's called senior bondholders. Now, the senior bondholders is people that have more money usually in the banks and so on. Because what they've done since the G20 summit back in Tokyo, I believe, Tokyo or Australia, they actually implemented what's called unsecured creditors, which is the depositors. Yeah. But they're kind of second after the senior bondholders, which is the guys that are getting a haircut. So we might also see here a little bit later on some depositors. There wasn't too many depositors in this bank. It was kind of a commercial bank. Yeah. But what's happening is the senior bondholders that had over 100,000 euros in that bank, and that could be a lot of people right now. And if a big bank goes bust like that, like for example here in Canada, an RBC or CIBC and so on, we could have a huge issue because there's not enough money to insure all those people that have under $100,000 in their bank account. Now, what happened is they're going to take a haircut of 54% of their money. Now, let's say that you had saved up a whole bunch of money for your retirement, and suddenly, 54% out of that is gone. It's just away. They took it because the bank went bust. They gambled with your money that you borrowed to them by putting your money in that bank account, and they just spoiled it. And now you're on the hook. And they put, like you thought you had money in the bank, they're going to take at least 54% out of that now in Austria. And this is going to continue to happening. It's going to happen way more rapidly. Just wait and watch. I've been talking about this for a long time now, Josh.
And I know this is complete highway robbery. I mean, it's unbelievable that people are allowing this to happen, and we have tried to warn about this. Now, John, why are people still saying that this is a fantasy? This is BS. It'll never happen. We keep getting messages on WAM that bail-ins, that won't happen. They're just writing it down as a last chance possibility, but they're not actually going to do it.
Well, I guess it won't happen in Canada. I guess you could just write off that legislation that they wrote into the budget, because in a market crash, you just wait and see you're going to see bail-ins.
It's going to happen.
But it's been several ones that have seen this before. You had Cyprus, then you had a bank, Unicredit in Italy, that had the same thing, and I also believe there was a Portuguese bank that just recently also got bailed in. So if you believe that it's not going to come your way, if you're in a country that have not had a bail-in yet, you got to really watch how much money you keep in the banking system.
Got another thing coming.
Of course, this is my opinion again. I hate to say this because you should really think about this and make sure that it is. But of course, I can get sued or taken to court or have to pay a lot of money if I say that
really
you should take your money out of the bank.
Go figure, there's stupid laws out there. That's crazy.
Yeah. But again, bail-ins are happening, and we have an Austria bank, which was formerly called, of course, Hypo Alpe Adria, which now turned into a bad bank, as they call it, where they turn some of the cash into, and then they cut the people's holdings in that bank by 54%. Now, they got bonds back. They didn't, I say they lose their money, but they got bonds back. But these bonds are maturing in 2023. Well, what's going to happen between now and then? Who knows? Yeah. They might be completely worthless. And they probably are worthless right now. Pretty close, those bonds. Yeah. So, warning again, bail-ins are coming. I don't know how else to put it. How much else to put in and really just to tell you the importance of understanding this and what do you call it, like how fast this could happen. It could happen over just a period of month in time frame. And you need to protect yourself.
Absolutely. That's what we're all about. As I always tell you guys here at WHAM, is we're all about just trying to give you the advice, the information that can help you save yourself from an economic crash or instability. And it's really important that you know this information for yourself, your family, and your friends. Please share it around. Please send us some questions if you have any concerns, any issues that you want us to talk about. And please, come on, send in your hate mail. We love to watch it. It's a great laugh. And, we need a laugh every now and then because sometimes the world isn't all that positive. So, and by the way, the world's not positive, and a lot of this information is negative, but that negative information gives us the ammo in order to make a positive environment, and that's all the more important these days, especially considering what's going on in this world.
Yeah, we've been talking about solutions. We're also all about solutions to those bad news.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to give you both sides. We need to tell you the truth, but then we can also go and look at potential options that one might have.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, John. We will obviously be talking more about bail-ins because this is a prevalent issue that is just completely growing and upsizing and upscaling constantly. And we see new news stories all the time about it. So we will be back with many more stories on bail-ins. So stay tuned to World Alternative Media. This is Josh Sigurdson and John Sneisen signing out. Find the truth, be the change.